Alright, hello. Welcome back to Game Design Speedrun. This is a series that I did a little while ago where the premise is to come up with and build and design an entire board game in one session, basically, and as quick as possible. I've already made a mistake. What did I do wrong? Nothing, it just looks wonky. It's strange. Okay, let's try the other way around there. I don't know why it looks so strange on its side to me, but okay. Let's rotate it so I get it back to what it's supposed to look like. And then I have to add the guides. So basically I'm going to be trying to build an entire game from scratch here. That's wrong. Man, I got it so backwards now that it's sideways. And basically, trying to think and do intro at the same time. I'm on the clock already. Basically, all you can start with is an idea, and you can prepare all of the images and stuff that you're going to use in advance. So I've already done that, and the idea is that it's a wow, it's actually really hard to pitch. You are trying to smuggle things in through customs, sort of. And I'll get closer to how that is going to work so far. But the first thing I've done is built our card template, and I've put in the guidelines for what the printer cut is. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to make a box, and this is going to be like a passport sort of a thing. It could be probably a little bit thicker. Let's make that an object. Okay. And so what I've done is I've used a website called This Person Does Not Exist, which randomly generates images of people. It's actually really cool, but some of them look a little odd. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But for the most part, they look like regular people. And what I'm going to try and do is build some kind of passport photo looking thing. What I might actually do to make this a bit easier is on this layer, I'm going to magic wand this. Come to this layer, select inverse. Oh no, that was not what I wanted to do. Wow, it's been a while since I've done this kind of stuff. And then put this on top. Okay, so now I've got my box. All I have to do is throw the photo on and arrange it to where I want it to be. So this is the first one. I've tried to pick a bunch of different people, but I also wanted them to be real people instead of art, so that you actually feel this is a person trying to smuggle something in. So we're gonna need to put in something that says passport, basically. Maybe let's just use this. Passport. Doesn't have to be super believable, but enough for you to, there you go, that's alright. So what I'm thinking is that you have people that you use as a resource, and if you have people, you can assign them to do things, which basically gives you an action. And then you have goods, and you're trying to smuggle in goods, and you're trying not to get caught with goods, maybe, I don't know. But then also, if you have a badge, which is like your TSA or customs or whatever, then you're able to play a person with the badge, and then that person becomes an inspector, and you can be like, okay, they're going to inspect this person or whatever, which means there has to be an element of playing. Everyone plays something for a round, probably face down, and you have to have what kind of options that they can play, and then you have to have some kind of reveal, or the person who is any number of investigators reveal first. And then any successful smuggling is scored, maybe? I don't know. We're going to figure that out later. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make all of our people, because that's going to be pretty straightforward. have some solid passport photos. So then what we do is we get all the people on there, and then we save each one individually, one by one. So here's our first example of one of the ones that's slightly mangled. He looks pretty normal on the outset, but if you have a close look at his second eye, it looks a bit squashed. A little bit squashed. And there's some where people have just two completely different eyeballs, like facing different directions and stuff, which is also super weird. And then there's some with like the background is mangled, or like they've touched their face. One of the composite pictures they've used to build it, they've touched their face, and so they've got their hand incorporated into their face somehow. I mean, of course, it's like not a real photo taken if someone's got their eyes shut. Alright, get another one here. Alright, I kind of just picked a handful off of what the website had available. Every time you refresh it, it comes up with a new one, and I didn't want to sit there for ages trying to prepare for this. Look at this guy's big flat face. There you go, here's one that's got two completely different eyes. One brown, one blue, maybe. It's hard to tell. It's supposed to look real enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. There you go, that kind of fits in there. Alright, so we've got all of our people on here. So if a person represents an action, does that mean that we can have people with special abilities? Like, for example, there might be a person that scores better if they have a certain type of good. A person that's more efficient if they're an inspector. So you have an existing framework, and then you get to look at, okay, how do I, okay, here are the rules, how do I break the rules, kind of a thing. The best example is Ghostbusters. They're like, hey, the one thing you can't do is cross the streams. Oh no, we're stuck in a situation where I don't know what to do. Oh, let's break the one rule that we have. And so when you're establishing what makes your game work, sometimes coming up with interesting character abilities means what things can I do to break the rules. So maybe it's reveal this person to perform an action, which could be kind of cool. I might also use a random name generator. If you remember, we did this for the corporate one, which is kind of funny. They were all a bit strange. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Everyone's going to get a funky random name. Generate real names from anywhere. Let's give me 10 to pick from. Generate random names. So this is Gloria Riggs. Let's get a different font for this. I like my Caslon Antique. So this is Gloria Riggs. Having names for the characters beyond a picture gives them it makes it easier for people to remember who and what they are. And then we're gonna go. Really don't want that to be center aligned. Special ability, sure. So if I have a look at the images I've got clothes, watermelon, banana, coconut, gun, photos of Paris, badge. I wasn't really sure what I wanted. I grabbed a couple of different stuff because I know Australia has a big thing where smuggling in fruits and vegetables is a big deal. Smuggling in weapons is obviously a big deal. But then you can obviously buy clothes as a tourist overseas and it's fine. And then bringing in Polaroids of your trip to France is also fine. So they're going to be stuff that's not going to score you any points, but maybe if you're smuggling in that thing and someone tries to investigate you, then they lose points or something like that, right? So let's say special ability, you get 1 point if you smuggle clothes. You know, this is a person that Gloria Riggs is a clothes retailer or something. It's actually a mule. The clothes are hiding something more sinister. So +1 points if smuggling clothes. So I'm assuming there's going to be some way of tracking points, but this is our first person so far. Make a folder for the cards. Save as cards 1. Okay. So then hide this onto our next person. Let's put this in a folder and this in a folder. Okay, next person. This is Tracy Liu. Liu? L-I-U. Apologize to anyone whose name I can't pronounce. Hide this one, edit this one. Tracy Liu. Sometimes, rather than making a whole new text, you can just copy one with Control-J and then edit what's in it, rather than trying to get it in exactly the right spot. So let's say this is our coconut smuggler, right? So let's say +1 points for if you successfully smuggle coconut this round for each coconut you've smuggled in total. So this is one of those things where it stacks up as it counts. So you're like, if I play this early, I'll probably only get exactly 1 point, but if I hold on to them and I use it later, then I might get multiple points. I might have successfully smuggled 3 coconuts. But now this means you have to track how many of each ingredient you've smuggled. Which implies that once you've successfully smuggled something, you might add it to a scoring zone, removing that card from the deck, which means you'll probably need more than 18 cards. Which I'm not super excited about. Unless if you write down what you successfully smuggle each round. I guess that could work too. I'm not entirely excited. Let's see how each one goes and we'll figure that out later. This is number 2. And there will probably be multiple copies of each person. And it's not going to look very sexy. The idea is to get to something playable, not, you know. Okay, this is... Grant Lynn. Sure, this is our gun smuggler. So I think like guns is going to be the big risky thing, where if you get busted with guns, you just like are removed from the game or something. If you smuggle guns. It's like the biggest upside for the biggest downside. Okay, that's number 3. That's a mistake, but that's okay. Next person, so we need a new name. This is Kayla Bridges. Kayla Bridges. Sure. So we've got someone that does something with coconut. We haven't got anyone that does anything with bananas yet. So I can do something with bananas. Let's say plus 2 points if no one else smuggled. If no one at all smuggled bananas this round. Oops, typo. This round. So 4. Okay, new name. Elisa Acosta. Whoops. Elisa Acosta. Most of this is just speed running Photoshop, which, you know, obviously isn't always super exciting for you to watch, but I hope it's something. So we haven't mentioned watermelon yet. I feel like I'm going to go through everything one time. And then double up in different ways later on. So I haven't done anything with investigating yet. So let's say plus 5 points if no one was busted this round. So you could be like, hey, this is Elisa Acosta, and if she's an investigator or whatever, and you don't successfully investigate someone, you'll get 5 points because you didn't bust anyone. So she could be like a crooked inspector, or like you could be trying to sneak through, or it gives you options. And you're like, when am I going to play someone? Do I think there's a police card available in someone's hand? Stuff like that. Stuff like that. So we could have some reveal effects. Okay, so this is our next person. So I need a random name. This is Cameron Graham. Okay. Cameron's special ability is at the end of the round, everyone reveals their hand and discards all badges. So you could guarantee next round's not going to have any investigating in it. Or something. Like I said, find out how broken it is later and fix it then. Currently 20 minutes in. Okay, so then the next one, we need a new name. This is Clifton Blackburn. I'm literally just like picking the one that's on top of the list. Blackburn. Why is that not showing up? Why is that in white? All of a sudden. Okay, special ability. So we had one that's over here. Bloody hell. I did not mean to close that. That's really annoying. Come on. Here we go. Plus some point for smuggling clothes, for each coconut in total, so counting coconuts, 1 for just clothes, extra points for guns, points for no bananas. So let's say points for bananas. Plus 1 point for each banana smuggled this round. So if you and somebody else does bananas, you get 2 points. That's 7. Okay, so we've got 4 more people left. Okay, Lucy Maxwell. watermelon. 1 point when smuggling watermelon. That's 8. Okay. New name. This is Edmundo. Lindsay. Okay, minimize that. New special ability. You win the game if you bust someone with guns this round. Why not? Just go for it. Okay. This is probably going to be a 4-player game. The way it's looking. This is Jerome Gilbert. Trying not to overlap. Jerome Gilbert. Jerome, your special ability is you cannot be busted while smuggling fruits. Should really be some more specific. Coconut, watermelon, or bananas, because he has a permit or something. Shows you what I know about customs law in Australia, but you know, this isn't supposed to be an education, okay? Just like werewolf doesn't actually teach you how to avoid being eaten by werewolves. Okay, we're down to our last person. So we need a new name. That name is Randolph Hodges. And some of these names are a bit odd. Okay. Alright. New ability. At the end of our round, any goods that were confiscated are put into your hand. Someone that nicks stuff out of the confiscated area. So save Randolph, which is 11. I don't know why I picked 11 people, but that's how it happened. Okay, so now we need to go through and make all of the goods. So I'm going to save the dock, passports. Yep, close this. I'm going to make a new one. Yep. Put up our guides. This one is 1050. It's much easier when it's actually the right way. 750. Okay, so then we're going to need a title, so I'm going to go back to Black X Standard. And let's, you know, go call loads. That's going to be a group, because I'm going to be changing those. And then I want my subtitle. It's not what I used, I was using Kazan Antique. Goods subtitle, sure. I'm not even going to bother editing it, it can just look like that. Glorious. Might resize it so that it doesn't overlap our guidelines. There you go. The bucket hat importer. Let's get this out of our group. Okay, make a group for that. now I need to add a points scoring system, right? So come back here. This clothes are worth nothing. Okay, I really don't like how thick that number is. Make that Caslon, but like double the size. That's really bad too. I destroyed my my guides. That's sort of awkward. Maybe I don't have to go back and do them again. Sure, that'll have to do. So clothes as a goods is worth 0 points. That's card 12. And then we're gonna go what was now clothes. Oh, actually, copy. This is watermelon. I don't know why I capitalize it as 2 separate words. People familiar with my writing and Winning Love by Daylight, that everything is capitalized for no reason. Alright, so this is a 1. Not that that looks like a very convincing 1, but whatever. Hide this. Watermelon. Just bungled the ratio at the last second. There you go. And it's got a line on it. Really? I'll tidy that up. That'll bug me. Okay. Save as 13. This game's gonna look so ugly, but that's okay. Whoops. No. So many. Probably doesn't need to be that intense. Probably needs to be in the right folder. Okay. This is 14. The reason why I number them rather than name them is that I know how many cards I've made so far. Slightly helpful. So this is going to be coconut, which is also going to be 1 point. I probably don't need all these things in it. So what I might do is just go get the lasso, zip crops. This is all stuff that I spent 5 seconds looking for on like royalty-free image sites. Oh, it looks hideous. Yeah, look, it's not perfect. No, can't erase because I've selected a 1x1 pixel area of the screen. Okay, let's put this in the right folder. It's way up to 15. Yeah. Make sure I save as a JPEG. We did nothing about the Polaroids. None of the characters do anything about Polaroids. So I guess it's just like a nothing card. No one's interested in your photos of France. Hide coconut. This is something I prepared in advance because it was going to be too difficult to do quickly on here, and it was all transparencies and I would have to get extra art to put it in there, so I'm like, look, it's just still getting art prepared. Polaroids, but not even goods, bads. Save as 16. It's gonna be a 19 card game. Okay. Hide this. Gun. Rotate it. Weapons. I mean, armor. arms would be probably better. Alright, so this is gonna be worth 2 points, because then there's a guy that makes a +3, which is 5, which is like almost a game winner. If you get the combo, it just is otherwise a free round if you get it over somebody else. So if you don't have a person that synergizes with a particular type of good that you have, you'll score probably just 1 point for that round, because most of the goods are worth 1 point. And then weapons are worth 2 points. And then if you get the right goods and the right person, they're worth more points together. Which is kind of the idea. This is... That's not what I meant to do. 17. Okay, and then... is not a goods. I am going to edit it, which is okay. I should be able to magic wand this. Pow. Just delete all of the black. That's fine. Customs. Confiscated. Any players caught with guns are eliminated. He's killed on the spot. Straight up eliminated. I make this font slightly smaller because I have a feeling that it goes over the edges of our guideline, but I have no idea. No idea. Okay, we're gonna save this. This is just cards, is fine. Okay, here's the fun part. We're gonna make the rule book. An A4. Game name. Come back to it. Setup. So we need to establish a hand size for all of the players, which is probably going to be 3. And if it's a 4-player game, that means that's 12 cards to a round. And if you want to have 5 rounds, you need to have 60 cards in the deck. It's not so bad. So shuffle all of the cards together and deal 3 to each player. The player that goes first is the last to fly in an airplane. Okay. The round. So, gameplay is each player submits 2 cards. Each player starts by drawing a card, or gets dealt a card. And then each player submits 2 cards, which can be a person and a good, 2 goods, 2 people, person and a badge, right? Only is something successfully smuggled if it is a person and a good. If it's 2 goods, it's nothing. If it's 2 people, it's nothing. If it's a person and a badge, you get the extra effect of the badge. But that's about it, really. Each player starts by drawing a card. Then, all at the same time, players submit a pair of cards face down. Once all players have done this, any player who played a badge may reveal it and investigate one player. Then all other players reveal their submitted cards and score points based on any successful smuggled items and any bonus points. If the two submitted cards are two goods or two people, no points are scored. A player can only investigate others if they have a person and a badge submitted. People can only score goods if they have a person and good submitted. Any bonus points come from the person's effects. It's gonna be so confusing for a person that is reading this and they're like, am I a player or am I a person? Which isn't great and would probably be the first thing that I do when I tidy it up, but the aim of this game is for it to be playable, for you to see me doing it and for you to hopefully get some ideas about making games of your own, and for it to be complete. It doesn't have to look sexy, which is fine. Right, so that's the round. I'm then gonna go score it. At the end of each round, players score based on any successful smuggling. Once all the cards in the deck are gone, the game ends and the player with the most points wins. Ties are broken by arm wrestle. It really, like, tiebreakers are such a big thing in game design, but for simple games like this, when it's like, oh yeah, it's a tie, oh, we'll play another round. Like, you didn't spend 45 minutes getting to a tie, like you spent 6 minutes getting to a tie, it's not really a big deal. That's kind of everything, I'm pretty sure, that you need to play the game. The loop is everyone gets their 3 cards, people pick 2 cards to submit after having drawn a card. All the cards are revealed after anyone chooses to maybe investigate. You see if you have any combo for bonus points. It's scored at the end of the game when the cards in the deck run out. That's kind of the whole thing. It wasn't meant to be too complicated. Excuse me. Okay. So then now I just have to make the printables and then we're done. So I need to do this, which is right, and 2250. Yeah, that seems wrong. $750, $150, $22.50. What? Oh, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. $11.25, $22.50, $33.75. It's late at night. Maybe I can't do maths. Who knows? So what I'm going to do is let's try that. See if that works. Yes. Okay, but I'm going to put a guide here. So I can snap these in. how many copies of each thing do I want? So I have 18 cards in total, and I need 60 cards. So if I want to have more persons than goods, probably not. So maybe I do 2 of each person, which is 22, which means 1/3 of the cards are people. That works pretty good. A lot of it comes down to figuring out how best to like using statistics and stuff and different distributions to figure out exactly how best you want resources to show up, right? Which is tough, but knowing how many players you're trying to have and how many times you expect them to be able to do something. Okay, so that's page 1. Page 1. Yes. Make that a group. Hide the group. Just drag it over. Lisa Acosta. So I just have to be mindful that each page is 9 cards. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be getting a new PB, but I'm pretty happy with how quickly this has come across. But compared to some of my other projects, this game looks pretty ugly. I see there wasn't a lot to be done to like really make it stand out. I had a look at some of the art options I had, and it just wasn't like, I looked at an actual passport template and they were all really ugly, and it was really tough to like get it like the way I wanted. I thought it would be way too much fiddling. Hang on, what's that? Yep. Okay. Okay, and then this is the last one. Oops. Gotta put it down before I can make a copy. Alright. And then now we start with goods. So we want to have a lot of goods that deal nothing. I think there's gonna be just like 1 guns, you know. So let's go 3 clothes, 4 clothes, watermelon. Let's go 3 watermelon. So that's page 3. Watermelon again. Banana. Ooh, too high, okay. Coconut. Something else that would have been good would to have variable quantities. So one of the bananas is 1 banana, one of the bananas is 3 bananas, one of the bananas is 5 bananas. So like you go, okay, I might smuggle 1 banana for 1 point, but then if I get the combo of the person that really likes bananas, then I can go, you know, make an attempt at something bigger. We're gonna have a lot of Polaroids just because they're super useless, and I love having something that's super useless in my game. Okay, we can have 2 guns and 2 badges. Now that's page 4. So we need more fruit. More fruit. So we need to do 1 more page of just fruit. I'm gonna quickly perform an illegal move. 45 cards. What? Okay. So 5 pages is 45 cards. So we're gonna do one more page, which is gonna be 4 banana, 4 coconut, 1 clothes. 4 banana. No, 4 banana, 5 coconut. Actually, coconut's the one that counts things. Okay. So now we've got 6 pages, which is going to be 54 cards. Now, 54 cards is the standard deck of playing cards print size, which is kind of perfect. And then if we do our same maths from before, we go 3 cards per player at maximum 4 players is 12 cards. And 54 divided by 12 is 4.5 rounds, which means there's going to be an uneven round. I did that right, so 65 divided by 12 is still not running any better. There isn't really a number where this works out super well. But then we also have to keep in mind that there's a guy that picks up cards at the end of a round as well. I don't know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Page 6. So basically that's the timer there, 47:07. A list of things that I would change. Obviously the graphic design is super bare bones. Maybe add, you know, if like an actual artist looked at this game and did some work on it. But that's not what we're here for. Number 1 fix would be to find a way for the number of cards and the player count to marry better, so that you have the exact number of cards being used for the exact number of rounds. But having the guy that picks up extra cards after a round does interact with that, because there's nothing that gets rid of. And there is the guy that gets rid of cards as well. So, I mean, I guess that's a counter, right? He picks up all the cards and then goes like, oh, I'm not gonna, you know, not gonna let you have this gigantic hand size. So then, yeah, playtesting, looking at balance tests, you know, is there too many bananas in the game? Is there not enough Polaroids in the game? Do we need more gun? Do we need more badge? There's only 2 badges. So there isn't gonna be a lot of investigating. So maybe there should be 4 badges. Maybe there should be a badge per round, you know, 10 badges or something. Go up to 65 cards and have 11 badges or something, you know. A lot of these things come from testing it, and you go, well, look, the main mechanic is being afraid of being investigated by someone, but no one's ever being investigated because there isn't enough badges in the game. And then you're able to go and go, okay, let's add more badges. Let's take out, you know, there's too many coconuts because somebody says one time, if I have 10 coconuts, I win the game with points, basically. So it's the thing, your game doesn't have to be perfectly balanced on the first attempt. It doesn't have to, hell, I've like printed and tested games that just didn't work at all. I got 5 seconds into it and I was like, wait a minute, I'm like missing a whole thing that is like essential for this to work. But then you learn stuff straight away, like, and then you iterate. You go, okay, here's the fix. You know, and video games do the same thing. In a video game, they release something, and there's a crash or there's like a bug, and then the report comes back. You know, oh my god, there's a crash. Too many players are on the servers, and so the servers are down. So then they release a patch, and then the patch fixes it, which is an iteration of the game. It's the same thing. And so that's what you have to focus on. You don't have to be this perfectionist that gets it right in the first go, because you can't, you know, perfection is inhuman. And so then you just gotta try and do the best that you can, and then refine it over time through testing, and then getting lots of different people's opinions on it, other game designers, players that play a lot of board games, your grandma, anyone that'll have a look at it, and then, you know, toss out the feedback that seems a bit ridiculous, and then come to whatever you're happy with your final product to be. So I hope this was kind of interesting for you. If you're keen on seeing more game design speedrun content, let me know. It's something I've been thinking about on and off about whether I should keep doing it or not. If you have any questions, berate me in the comments. If you think I'm doing something terribly, let me know, you know. And I challenge you guys to try and have a go at this speedrun your own thing, beat my record of whatever it is currently. And yeah, thanks for hanging out.